How you guys doing tonight? What's going on? What's up, Kathy? What's up, Shannon? Lori, Uplift with Jen, Katrina, Susie, Energy. What's up, Miles? Ellie. What's up, Savannah? Lil Buddy. I'm just waiting for Chantelli Lace with the resting biatch face to be in here so I can see that. That'll catch my eye. What's up, Mama Down? What up, Denise? Carrie? Crystal, what is going on? What's up, G? What's up, Ariana? Mommy needs a TikTok. That is also an incredible username. What's up, Deja? Crystal, that's good to hear. I have been putting in work on tonight's show. What's up, Angela? Donna, Wisconsin. Represent is correct. What even is Chantilly lace? What do you mean your whole house is painted in that? I've never heard of that, actually, now that I think about it. Kimberly from Florida. Oh, it's a song. Okay. I'm doing good, Pandora. How are you doing? Man, this is wild. This is going to be a good show. I can tell you guys that. I got a couple of emails, but I'm going to give it a couple more minutes here just while people are saying what's up. As always, you guys know how I like to see where everybody's tuning in from. Yell out some of the crazy places that people are tuning in from while I let Phoenix up. Phoenix, what's Gucci, my Louie? I don't know how that became my intro to you, but it's sticking and it's not going anywhere.
I'm great. Oh my God, you won't believe all this stuff people are sending me. I forward some things to you, but it is wild.
That's awesome. We got a Nova Scotia in here, Oregon, Phoenix, Tennessee, Bama. Someone's on their way to Montana.
New York.
That might be one of the first people from New York. How many people from New York are in here?
Jersey, Scotland.
Cape Cod, Scotland. Arkansas.
Another Phoenix.
Love it.
Me, Maine. Me, Maine.
Maybe. Or they're just like, no, I'm from New York. Me. Texas. Kimberly, New York. Jess, upstate New York. Llama Mama, New Jersey / New York. Dual.
Mama Karen, Spokane, Washington. I seriously look forward to hearing your guys' voice every day.
Yes.
Ditto.
Yes. And so
Ireland.
We got Brazil. Wow.
Whoa.
Okay. That's incredible. That's incredible.
Australia.
Yep. Jersey Shore.
Dude, Sweden in the house. Go, go, go.
I love it. Jersey Shore. I'm not even ashamed to admit it. That was one of my favorite shows back in high school. Days, right? I think it was on Thursday nights or something. That was like,
dude. Okay, I used to watch MTV when it was the real world.
Oh yeah. Do you remember like they had Pimp My Ride? They had, what was the one where was it Room Raiders? Where you'd go through someone's room and then decide if they got to go on a date with them?
Maybe. I don't remember that. I mean, I was overseas for 5 years, so I missed a lot of TV between, I would say, 90 and 97. So, Cribs.
MTV Cribs, got the Cristal in the fridge.
90210 in the house.
Yep. Someone also said another good show was Next. That was another fun show. All right, well, there's a blast from the past. So, as you guys know, yesterday I introduced a new segment to the show, and I kind of finished it with that, and then we had a guest on. But I think what I'm going to do moving forward, and this is Phoenix, you and I also hit a milestone of we actually talked about the show for the first time ever prior to the show starting today.
Yes, when you sent me a message, I was like, dude, you're off your game.
I know. So I'm like, I got an idea. I value your opinion. You tell me what you think about this layout. And so I'm gonna start each show with where is it? Where is it? Why isn't that loading? Oh no. Let me
Whoop,
refresh
whoop.
this.
You got a cowboy hat.
Love that. Hopefully this loads now because there we go. Look at that logo that I came up
Woo,
with.
I love it.
Well,
I love it.
half me, half AI. But still, I think that shit's badass. Look at that. That is awesome.
Classified. I love it. I love it. And if you have not shared this live, you need to start tapping and sharing and sending the love. Share it to as many people, as many friends as you can. And if you don't have any on here, that's okay. Just hit the forward button. It boosts the algorithm and it tells everybody that we are live and we are on the go.
Yes. And so, Phoenix, I've gotten a couple emails that I would like to show. So for people that did not tune in yesterday, or maybe they haven't watched the full stream that gets uploaded to YouTube, it's Birdie Bombshells or Birdie on YouTube. Tonight's stream is always uploaded by noon the following day, Central Time. I've been doing better at getting them up right away in the morning when I wake up. I start downloading it the second that we get done, and then when I wake up, I start that process. But I've been giving out my email, which is Birdie Bombshell. It's singular. BirdieBombshell00@gmail.com. If you guys find crazy shit about this case or other cases, please send them my way. Phoenix and I can forward them to each other. But I'm going to pick a couple of things that get sent to me to start each show because I do think that it just, a lot of the stuff that I get sent has to do with the prior stream. So I think it's good to start with this instead of finish with it, if that makes sense. And so, man, some of the things after this Hive Mind too, I mean, I've gotten a couple emails that Jay and Bree was talking about having me look. I don't know if he said have me look into it or just the conspiracy theorist people, but hey, I wear that tinfoil hat with pride, as you guys know. And so I got some stuff to look into, and it's going to be a good one. So sit back, relax, and let's look at the Hive Mind finds. And our first one actually comes from Outcast. Outcast, you've heard us talk about him on the stream before. He's super good with audio, but apparently he's also very versed in crypto. So I wanted to read his kind of analysis on the crypto stream that we did, part 1, and I found this interesting. So I know enough about crypto that I'm like, I'm going to put my money in there and pray to God that it goes up. Right? That's about it. I know like how to put in a wallet.
Like our 401k.
Yep.
Our IRA.
So by the way,
why don't you do a little recap for those just tuning in and maybe they've never seen us before?
Yep.
In regards to the crypto part 1 and 2, and then.
Yep. So you're right.
Is this in response to our crypto thing that we did, or
yep,
the connection, or
to it.
Okay?
This is in response to part 1. So on Sunday, May 18th, so 2 days ago, I came on, and on Sundays we don't really have too much of a structure. We just kind of, go off the cuff, and we started going down this rabbit hole with a crypto connection in the Idaho 4, and the prompt that I gave the AI was like, I want you to go as deep as you can down this rabbit hole to make people say, holy shit, that's a connection. Well, for whatever reason, that prompted it to use all this open source technology. It started simulating using ARG, which is augmented reality gaming kind of structure. It's like what, I guess like what video games use to do like narrative simulation is what it said. And then it also talked about blockchain, and I forget the other word, behavior or surveillance, blockchain and surveillance behavior. So it pretty much did what a criminal predictive AI program or a predictive criminal behavior AI program would do, which oddly enough is the funding that the NIJ was giving Washington State for. Well, it gave us a burn token string or a chain on Etherscan, which is like meaning that this blockchain existed. And it had a timestamp. And then we were like, holy shit. So we posted it. People are like, hey, that doesn't exist. It might be making it up. So that's how we found out that the AI was using that. But it said, I did what essentially law enforcement and any like government officials, ICE, DHS, marshals, FBI would do with this program. And I just did it too well, was what AI said. So that's a little background. Part 1 and part 2. I put part 1 back up. I took it down until Phoenix and I clarified on part 2, because again, that was a live dig. We didn't know. But this email was from a day or two ago. And Outcast, this was extremely interesting. So if you guys can see the screen, I actually went back into my history. I got the full thing here. Now, again, it was made up by AI, right? It was simulated. It was not real. That timestamp is not from the past. It was guessing. It was predicting based on all real world things. And this is what Outcast said. He said, upon reviewing the transaction with hash and then all of the numbers and letters, which occurred on November 13th of 2022, it appears that the transaction involved a function labeled burn sheep on a specific smart contract. However, based on the available information, there is no concrete evidence to confirm that hex tokens were burned in this transaction. The function name burn sheep suggests that the transaction was intended to burn Shiba or Shiba tokens, not hex. Function names in smart contracts are labels and do not necessarily indicate the actual tokens involved. To determine the specific tokens affected by this transaction, one would need to examine the transaction's internal details, such as the ERC20 token, transfer, or logs, which are not provided in the available information because I believe it was cut off. So he said, therefore, without further detailed data, it cannot be conclusively stated that this transaction involved the burning of hex tokens. If you have additional information or specific details about the transaction, please provide them, and I can assist further in analyzing the transaction. Yes, there was a significant hex token burn transaction on November 13th of 2022. And he listed the exact detail. Timestamp, and it was at 3:56 p.m. UTC, and it was initiated by this address. The function called burn sheep or Shiba, the token, on contract, all these things. It was an Ethereum blockchain explorer, and it says this transaction was successful and is publicly recorded on the Ethereum blockchain. So then this profile says, whoa, so it's legit. He goes, not really. I need the full thing. Only what was burned is about $335 connected to this. I need more info so I can search it. So I don't know if that helps Outcast by going back and getting the full thing. But what the hell?
Wow. Holy moly. I mean, obviously, AI pulled all this information from the web, put it into your specific scary question.
Yep. Right.
And came back with something almost plausible. 50% accurate.
Which is crazy because, so just so everybody knows. Go ahead.
If we're just using this to explore, can you imagine what it could do if they have 100% capability?
Yes, and thank you, Bianca. She says that they're a mod for Outcast. We'll pass it on. Outcast and I have been emailing. I'm going to get him hooked up with the raw footage of the Linda Lane audio that we've gone over, chat. And if you haven't watched Outcast stuff, I would highly recommend you go check him out on YouTube. He is a wizard with the audio. Phoenix and I were in a chat that we were in a stream where he was a guest on, and it was awesome. And I'm excited for him to do it for some of the stuff that we found and that we want clarity on. Instead of me just doing it on CapCut, he's got some really cool tools. And
I need to go back and see if he actually broke up the 911 call to see and isolate the female voices to see if there were male voices.
Yes, and somebody, again, we go back to right here, chat. Somebody sent me a voicemail of Brian Koberger's voice scheduling a haircut. So he'll be able to match it to that.
Sweet.
for any other thing. And I was thinking maybe we could do that police cam, the body or the dash cam footage for that College Hill Beat show with Officer Willis. Maybe see if we can match it to that, where we were like, is that
Cool.
Koberger's voice? So again, that is the first of the Hive Mind finds. The second is somebody got a really
Yeah.
clear picture of
Quadrant of the Twitch.
the Twitch. Oops.
Jeez.
Look
Who
at that.
in the Remember I said there were 4 screens?
Yep.
That's what gave us the idea that it was streamed on a different one.
Yep.
And
now,
what were they watching?
well, I'm not sure. This was at the band field. So
Correct.
that's why I have it at that. These are not the same picture. I just put this over there for context. But
Yeah.
again, I mean, this is a photo that we're going to dive into and see if we can clear up, because that is
Now-
crazy.
Okay, so let's just back this up a minute. I have to reference logic here. So this was at about 3:01 at the band field that night, early morning, I should say, on November 13th, 2022. And why would he be showing the cop his phone?
Okay. I hate that I'm going to say this. Chat, I'm serious. I'm not trying to be disgusting here, because my brain goes right to it. But, like, what are people seeing in that right there? I see some, like, vulgar shit. I don't know. I don't even
Yeah,
want to show
I
it.
see it. I see it too.
Okay.
But I'm just wondering, like, why would they hand over their phone to this cop and have the cop watch this? This is on the body cam photo, the video of the cop.
Yeah. So,
And this is at 3:01. It's documented time frame. So if this was going on, and what I think it might be, I don't know if it was an accident, because he took his phone.
well,
So
in what state is it legal to have your driver's license on your phone? I could be way back. I don't know. Maybe where I live is different. I know you can have your insurance in your insurance app, and you can have registration. I didn't think you could have your ID in your Apple Wallet like that, where a cop would accept it.
I have no idea
Oh,
either.
someone said in Louisiana you can.
In Louisiana.
Colorado, you have an app.
In
Okay.
Colorado, they have an app.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I just haven't heard of it. So
Yeah, that's wild. But you know, these college students have everything on their phones. So I wouldn't doubt it's accepted, even if your college ID was on your phone, right? So
yep. So chat, let me just do a quick survey on that. Do you got type of 1 if you like starting with the Hive Mind finds? Because I think it's relevant to the previous chat instead of doing it at the end. Yeah. Awesome. I'm glad, because you guys deserve the credit for sending me that shit. I don't want to take it. I want to give the credit where credit's due. I did accidentally show people's full names on my email, so I'm so sorry about that. And if you guys have a really big
I'm
problem
glad
with
you
it,
changed that up.
yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
not going to do that anymore. And I apologize to the people that happened to. I did not do it on purpose.
So now, on this Banfield footage from the cop cam on that early morning, it's already documented at 3:01. And if this was happening at that time frame, that blows away the timeline.
Yes, it does. And what I have next is what we finished with last night.
And you guys are going to be blown away. Before we go into this picture and the next segment, I just have to tell you, on my timeline, you're going to be blown away. Not only at 3:01 at the Banfield when this is happening with this cop and he's looking at the phone, and we did not plan this, by the way.
Yep.
On my timeline at 3:02, Sweater Guy is being questioned in front of the apartment that he lives in. He has a bump on his head. His clothes are all disheveled. He's missing his shoes. And he looks an absolute mess, and his clothes have been changed.
So somebody emailed me that. I didn't put it on here, but I can quickly grab it when we get to that point. So just remind me. Okay? Because you can clearly see the bump and the bruise or the scrape on his head. So thank you for bringing that up, Phoenix. And yeah, we did not plan the Banfield phone. really all we talked about, again, our little milestone was that I said, hey, I'm going to start with the Hive Mind. So, anyways, we finished last night before Mama Tata came out. We talked about this post right here. Everyone's probably heard this gentleman's name in regards to the Idaho 4 and how it says, I see you too, but C is spelled like the ocean, not S-E-E. And there's a lot of people that are saying, like, is that a dead man drop? Is that a dead man message? So I flipped this photo, and all of this was just done in my photo settings on my phone. But I don't know about you guys. I certainly see a man with a mustache right here, and I'll zoom in more.
And I immediately said, that looks like sweater guy.
Yep.
Look at the sweater he's wearing.
Yep. I see 2 eyes, a nose, a mustache. Let me pull my tool up here.
Now, it was rumored, allegedly, that these people who did this to these kids were wearing white hats.
Interesting. But so just so for people to see too, here's what my eyes pick up. I see like a baggy hat. I see 2 eyes, mustache. Then back here, I see what looks to be a guy kind of standing like this, and I'll just show you. This dude right here
has a white hat on.
Well, this dude, I think he's standing like how guys pose for pictures like that are younger like this, like.
Oh yeah.
Kind of are doing like the.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me. And I'll take all this stuff off so you guys can look.
But in the quadrant of this eye, there's 3 or 4 pictures in here.
Well, okay. Thank you. Because depending on the filter, here's the colored version of it. I don't know if this helps. This certainly looks like at least 2 people. This guy still looks the same. I almost thought for a second that this right here looks like it was purposefully blurred, but I don't know. I can't go that far. It just looks like...
I think it looks like someone else is taking a picture of them taking a picture.
Yeah. So yes, I flipped the eye upside down and that became visible. So if you're going to send a dead man's message with a weird cryptic post, you're probably not going to just have it straight up. So all I did was literally this, chat. That's all I did. I just flipped it. Which I don't think for somebody who's a combat veteran is a stretch to think they'd know to do that. And now this I'm going to try to do live. I'll do it on this one. But when you put a certain color filter on it, and I forgot which one. I think it's something with this. Shoot. Anyway, you guys can kind of see right here. There looks to be handwriting. Okay, see how it doesn't change? That doesn't move no matter what the filter is you put on it.
I wonder if that's a signature.
Well, so somebody had sent me this. Let me get out of this and put no filter back on it. Now, somebody sent me this. And it's YV2. That's what we saw last night, but it's a SoundCloud thing. I think this is Purple People Eater, and they're from Portugal. Again, I don't really know. We don't know. That's one of those things where I think I'm going to speak for both Phoenix and I. I have no idea. It's just a weird thing that keeps coming up. I have no.
But there's a connect. There has to be. I've uncovered a connection with Brazil.
Well, yes, right, but I'm saying I guess I don't have a connection to the victims more so.
Right, but there is something going on involving another country.
Yeah, so I just thought that was interesting. That's not to say anything. I can zoom in on this right here, and I'll get it up in the chat. So the SoundCloud
had the same letters?
Yes, that's what Purple People Eater said. So if you guys want to screenshot that and do your own magic on it, this is the raw picture that's zoomed in right now. So if you guys want to flip it or do whatever, if you see something pop up, please send it to me, birdiebombshell00 at gmail.com. So, okay. I think right now what I should do instead of me moving on to the next part, let me open up my email because I have that photo of the people that you talked about. So again, shout out to the Hive Mind. Those are incredible finds, and I wanted to recap with that photo, but I want to show you guys something about what Phoenix was saying on the people at the grub bus. Now, did you send that to me, Phoenix?
I did. Last
Okay.
night when we got off, I was digging a little bit more. And when you sent me the picture, the one that you had lightened up, I took a step back and I looked at it and I thought, oh my gosh, this looks like the guy from the grub bus and the one from after at 301, I'm sorry, 302 that he's being questioned on the cop cam.
Yes. So now let me see the cop cam. And the reason why I have the screen down is, again, I don't want to show people's names. Yeah, this is pretty remarkable. So, all right, here we go. Let me add a new slide. Go to uploads. Upload this file. Looks like the same guy to me.
Yep.
How about you, chat? What do you guys think?
Drop a 1 if you think that's the same guy.
Now you look at here. No, even if it's mirrored, it really doesn't. I don't know if it would matter. I can flip it, but no scar here, or no bruise. Clearly got marked
90
up.
minutes later.
90 minutes later, and talking to the cops.
334. Yep, that's right there. It's got it on there.
See right here. Nothing.
Now, people are saying he has a twin brother. I don't know if that's accurate.
Well, okay. Maybe this guy's face looks a little different-ish. Maybe it's the hat. Maybe not necessarily the shape. But I could be way wrong. I don't know. If he has a twin, who knows?
And he looks like he's got a couple of bruises on his face on both sides. If you look at the picture that's depicting him looking down.
This looks a little swollen, too.
But it looks like the guy in the top earlier in the night was happy and having fun. And it looks like the next picture set, this guy got beat the heck up or was in some type of scuffle.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's a lump, like he got hit. It looks a little, but then so does this side kind of, and maybe. It seems to definitely, I don't know. Again, we're working with kind of grainy footage here, so take that with a grain of salt. It's super interesting. It's super interesting.
Very.
So, okay.
Yeah, we heard he got into a fight, but who did he get into a fight with? And why would he look like the guy that's in Kopaka's eye picture?
Right. So, you know what I'll do is I'll copy this.
He was interviewed after the Schmurders with a shaved head, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that was David Loach that shaved his head. Yeah, his feet did look swollen because he had slippers on. He did change his clothes and took a shower. Yep. Why don't you ask ChatGPT if it's the same individual?
Okay. I mean, I can try.
Yeah, I mean, just for clarity. Was he at the thing you don't talk about club?
Mm-hmm.
The first rule and the second rule? He was talking to the cops because he was stealing signs. I remember they had the sign, his partner had the sign in his hand. But he told the cop he got it a long time ago, which was very odd. Why lie? Yep, he lives at the Grove. We knew that.
You know, I have to do this.
Now, well, you do that. Someone just brought up something very interesting that I found today. In the first week, rumors were that BF was dating Kopaka, in case you all didn't know. So if there was a connection, then BF would know if he was there that night.
So that was one of the things that I was reflecting on from our chat as last night. Because what I've learned is it seems like unless we're discussing a specific theory, sometimes it's all over the place, which is fine. It's okay. It's not anything that Phoenix is doing or the chat's doing. It's just that's the reality of it. I think I was going to say fun. That's the worst word to use probably for this, but an interesting thing would be like, you guys know like how in like movies you see like the boards where they tack everything onto and then they got a rope going to it. I think it would be interesting to do like a live kind of like board like that. Do you know what I mean? Where we can have
absolutely.
That's what I think we should do. And I think it'd be interesting to just see like what we'd put together for that. And so I think that would probably take up the entire live. But that way we'll be able to reference it and we can build it out. And it could be like, okay, here's 1122 King Road. We could even have it done on like an outline of Google Earth, and we could put names on it. We could put Anon, we can put other things. And I just think that would help clarify. So we'd always go back to that and kind of have like a case board.
And I've got my timeline on my wall next to me on 4 different boards. So, I mean, when I'm looking at it and I'm talking to you, I know that I verified that information and it gets on my board. So, like a working theory board. Mm-hmm. But listen to this. Letty said, that's the one who got into a fight with Ethan earlier and Xana stopped it. Her mom said that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Does anybody ever wonder if the fight might just be a coincidence?
I think there was a fight and another fight after.
Yeah.
Thank you, Letty, for that. I'm going to verify that.
All right, let's just say yes, and I want you to give me a rating out of 100.
So if the 2 pictures that Birdie is going to bring up real quick to see if they're the same guy, drop a 1 if you think that is the same guy.
It almost looks like he's got a beanie on. Or like if he does have a ski mask pulled up where it'd be...
Like I said, there was a rumor that some of these guys were wearing white hats.
How could there be... Like, my question is that, just to that, Phoenix, how is there a rumor about that? How is there a rumor about that we're talking about on a TikTok show? But you know what I mean? It's just crazy. How is that possible?
I don't know, but there is a rumor out there, and then we look into this eye picture, and it looks like he's wearing a white hat.
Yeah, I mean... I know that,
how strange is that?
It is strange. I mean, I know that I'm actually colorblind with like greens, reds, blacks, blues.
Oh, that guy has a white hat on.
Yeah, well, I could tell that. And I see some dude in a backwards hat here with his hands kind of like this.
Yep, hanging out.
I see a dude leaning against him, and I don't know what this is down here.
It looks like a white hat with some type of scary mask on.
Yeah. All right. Oh, well, what the hell did that just do?
That's interesting. What did we get?
I just said, all right, is this the same person in the quadrant photo as it is shown in the reflection of the eye? And it says, there's no definitive way, yada, yada, yada. Just from these images due to resolution limits and distortion. However, there are notable circumstantial visual similarities, hair, beard, general outline, and the identical timestamp that make plausible connection worth investigating further. Would you like me to attempt to reconstruction of the eye reflection to clarify the figure? I was like, yes, and I want you to give me a rating out of 100 as to how similar it is. Well, that's what it did, and it said similar rating of 87.
87. Okay, so let's just assume that that is the same guy. And the chat definitely agrees with us that that looks like the same guy.
Kind of looks like a mixture of like Drake the rapper and Jesus. Drizzes.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh, that's a new one. Okay, yes, Xana Moms posted that. I remember seeing that screenshot. I mean, Xana's mom was very vocal on the book face, guys. I mean, like, since then it's been scrubbed, but for someone who possibly was a informant that was cleared of her charges for whatever was going on in that local area, she sure was very vocal, and not a lot of parents have been vocal except for one.
Right. Correct. So, again, I will zoom in one more time if there are people that want to take a screenshot of this and do their own.
So who OD'd that night? Was that a rumor or was that actually true? It said that Ethan got in a fight with SK that night because somebody OD'd. He was mad about bad rugs.
So, one of the things, I don't know. I mean, that would definitely be something. Like I could see somebody wanting to absolutely take someone out for that, for sure. I mean,
so DL and Hayden were both wrestlers that got into a fight with Ethan. So there were two fights. I believe that one.
Yeah, Mama Tata, I did. It couldn't read it. I tried to grab the letters and put them in there. It didn't give me anything. I tried a lot, and I tried to get it. So that's what I'm saying. If anybody can make out what's written right here.
Yeah, the closest I got to putting it in, looking at it, the closest I got to was VM2, but that has to do with crypto. The other one that people were saying, it looked like a YN2, and a YN2 in the military is a cryptologist, guys.
Yeah, see, but it's like, that's what's hard for me, even when we do these streams. It's hard for me to think about it in so many different lights. That's why usually okay, we're going to talk about if it was Witsec, we're going to talk about if it was the Sea Gang, it just seems like this is the busiest night of violence in a college town in history, even outside of the unalivings, it seems like.
Yeah, and there's 30 other things going on.
It's crazy.
Like chaos, like I said before. They created chaos.
Right. All right. So I'll flip it then too for you guys. Not that you guys couldn't do that on your phones, but there's it flipped. I mean, see, now that I'm looking at it, I just want to see if there's...
And why would Kopaka have a picture of Hayden in his iris?
I don't know.
I mean, really? We just saw it. How can it not be connected?
I mean, obviously, I've dug into this at lengths, and there's even days where I'm just like, I don't even know. I don't even know how this case could be solved. You know what I mean?
I don't think it really will be. I think it's a bigger operation. Some days I'm like, is this freaking real?
Yeah.
Yes, the court case is real. Everything screams it's real.
Phoenix, why don't you talk about the emergency sealed hearing tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't think it was quite an emergency, but giving a 1-day notice on the repository was just kind of odd, but it was signed on the 16th, which only gives them a couple of days notice over the weekend to discuss the roles of the victims. And you guys know what a role means, right? A noun in the English language dictionary. It means, and I'll read it verbatim because I had to say it again. What do they mean in layman's terms by roles, right? I mean, Does anybody know what the meaning of a role, ROLE, is?
Well, I would say that it would probably be what is their role in the night? Like, first of all, I guess before you answer that, my brain went to like somebody flipped, somebody's coming forward. That's what I thought.
Okay, so I look up in the Oxford Dictionary. What does the word role mean? What is the meaning of role in our language? It says an actor's part in a play or movie.
I mean, obviously, like that's the verbatim. Yeah.
That's what it says at first. And then it says the function of assumed or part played by a person or a thing in a particular situation.
Yeah. I'm not, and also to Chad, I'm not gonna, I want to get through some of this stuff outside of, keep going in on this stuff. That's why I said I'm going to give the Hive Mind some time to dive into that photo to see if they can clear it up. We spent like an hour on that yesterday. But no, as far as that role, you're right. I mean, Phoenix, for the logical definition of it, it's exactly that. There's been people that have said this entire thing's a psyop. We might be watching a movie. No photos of the bodies. No death
When I fact
certificates.
check, I go to a couple of different explanations, right? So then I went to the Cambridge Dictionary, which obviously the English meaning means the position or purpose that someone or something has in a situation, an organization, society, or a relationship.
Yeah.
So why do they need to discuss it if they say that they're victims? Did something come to light that they have to discuss?
What about a relationship with a suspect? The alternative suspect?
What I've got next while we're looking at this Hive Mind picture, did you know that Bethany Funk's brother drove a black truck?
I've never heard that. I've only heard that about Dylan's boyfriend.
So apparently Bethany Funk's brother drives a black truck. There is one seen at the Banfield, and allegedly that may have been him and not Quinn Kelly. And look what Mama Tata just said.
I didn't see it. The whole Funk family is well connected. Yeah, there's for sure people that are super well connected. I think Mama Tata's her segment last night is up on YouTube. Again, if you guys want to listen to that, it was super informative. She's from that area. She's been in the King Roadhouse when she was partying back in the day and stuff. So that's on YouTube. Birdie Bombshells. It's the last like hour of the stream if you're interested in that. And yeah, it was super informative. I mean, I just think that I don't know how to say this because part of me feels like we've looked and we've gone into like, it seems like every stone we flipped over, Phoenix. And it's like, sometimes I think what would blow the case wide open, it's probably already right in front of our face. We're just not connecting it. I don't know how that's possible yet. Or we've said it and we just don't believe it, you know?
Well, I really believe, in my humble opinion, allegedly, I believe the frat is connected, and I do believe that somehow, some way, obviously, Koberger's being framed. There's no way he could have done this in less than 8 minutes.
Yeah.
As bad in the destruction they're saying that took place. And the timeline is off. So, I mean, those three things I know for darn sure.
I would say I'm pretty positive there was like some, like, again, the thing that's most feasible, I think, for the majority of people, if you're not saying what the news is saying, I think that one of the most logical explanations would be, depending on which way your brain can actually wrap itself around it, is like either there was some sort of parallel investigation going on with Ruggs that went wrong, with frats involved, C-gang involved, FBI is involved, because again, there's low-level informants. They're trying to take down the leader of the Sinaloa Sea Gang, which they just did. Who knows? This is, again, 2 years ago. Or it didn't go wrong and they're in WITSEC. There's, like, I don't know. That's just, in my mind, that's how I have to logically wrap around that parallel investigation is like either it went wrong and they got murdered, or it was about to go wrong and they got extracted.
Yeah, but did you see my Operation Fortune Runner that was posted today?
Mm-hmm.
On the crypto with the Sea Gang and
China.
what they were doing? Yeah.
Again, guys,
Wild.
I don't think it's far-fetched to think that it could be, one I mean, I think we know it's probably bigger.
I think it's just layered upon layered
but
upon
I don't
layered.
think it's just bigger than we imagine locally.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So, okay, moving
So
on.
it says, please compare the lettering in his eye reflection to the good vibe sign in the house.
Okay.
Could it be close to VIBES or a portion of it?
Oh, what the heck?
So yes, I showed a screenshot the other day, Dance, of Lance Funk Truck and Michaela C. Ooh, Bertie, you got some donuts. Thank you, Margie.
Thank you. I didn't even see it. Sorry, I'm focusing on cropping this. All right. Well, that would be some absolute shit right now. Whoever just thought of that, good job. My top dog trophy broke.
Oh.
So I almost got a giant like metal dog collar, and I was gonna like put that on. Not like a tight one, but like a chain, like a big chain, like that. But then I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense that I would wear it. I'm not giving myself the top dog. But anyways, yeah, I got to get a new top dog
Cajun Girl Nick. Cajun Girl Nick, shout out to you. Thanks for the idea.
Yes, good work. I will remove the background.
The eye photo, we agree, is evidence. We agree.
Why could they not detect a background in this? What if I put a filter on it then? Then can you? All right, I gotta get a new photo of it so I can take the background out.
Yeah, I keep hearing this. Koberger's an actor. It's not his real name.
I saw something today about Kopaka's first name is Jonathan, but I've
seen some crazy stuff too. And you know what? If he was one of those guys that they use in an asset, of course we're not going to know his name. They're going to keep scrubbing pictures and names and all that good stuff. So you'll never see anybody real name.
Why would this not let me remove a background? I don't understand that. How is it?
Oh, that's weird.
Well, it's not detecting it, is what it says. Okay, well, I'll just have to do transparency now.
I think the sheath was on Hayden's belt. Yeah, I thought that too when I first saw that video.
It seems a little bit too big, unless maybe like you go way down.
Maybe.
It's definitely not a bad thought.
It looks like YM2.
I don't know. I actually started thinking it was like string lights.
What if that's not Kopaka's eye? That's a really good one. So was this a fake profile that was set up?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever know.
Again, I'm curious to see what people find when they dig on this eye, if they screenshotted it. Okay, so we're going to see that. I'm sure, I would guess tomorrow somebody probably will have a much better picture than what I was able to do here. And then we will recompare it to dude over here. Now, kind of switching gears, not actually switching gears, but there was another creator. From what I've told, I was watching his clips. I didn't hear it, but so I don't know if it was like if it was a live and not his actual video. But apparently, JM Bree mentioned us about maybe looking into this, if I'm understanding right.
Yeah, I heard a shout out. Yeah.
Yeah, which is awesome because he's got great stuff. And so if he sees this, thank you for that. And I did not take it lightly. And I did a ton of research on these next few slides. And I'm going to play this for everybody. This is his video. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. And you guys listen to hear what he says. Phoenix, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. You might have to jump down and come back up. Or you can, I don't know.
Yeah, let's jump down. I'll come back up.
Okay.
Remember this picture, this is the first one that was submitted in the defense's original motion in limine for excluding the make and model of suspect vehicle. And we were like, goodness, surely they've got a better picture than this. But when we zoomed in on it, like I've got it zoomed in here 500%, you could see what really clearly looked to be the outline of a sunroof right here. And then here's the little fin, but you know, this black thing here and this little shadow looked like it clearly had a sunroof. We all saw it and we were like, that's a sunroof. Well, then when we got the video of the vehicle moving, that sunroof clearly disappeared. But let me tell you, this little thing right here, this black thing, it didn't disappear. And wait till you see what I'm about to show you after I played with the new video. It's going in super slow motion. Right here, you see this black thing we saw in that picture. Whoa, look at there. It just popped up. And then the next frame, it just kindly disappears because of the light reflection. But watch again. It's down. It pops up. What in the heck is that? One more time. It's down. It pops up.
So I believe that's the alarm.
I don't know, y'all.
So, okay.
Now I've got to
I'll let it play.
Follow that same process with the videos of the vehicles at other times to see if it's consistent or if it was just on that vehicle. But if that's not enough to get the conspiracy minds going, I don't know what is, because as I watched that with my own eyes, I went, what in the heck? Currently trying to figure out what that thing is. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Post your comments, thoughts, criticisms. And until next time, Pavarotti's out.
All right, let me let Phoenix back up. All right. So, Phoenix, I will let you give your takes after I show you guys this. Here again, guys, the photos are terribly blurry, but essentially you can see this kind of right here is what he's talking about. And you see it there. And that's about as far zoomed in as I can get. Now, he's talking about this black part of it here. So I tried to think about this. That was the only part of his video that I watched about it. It's a shorter clip. And before I went too deep on existing info or the comments of what it might be, I said, you know what? I'm just going to look at it through my own two eyes. Let me close this window quick. I'm freezing. And I got a couple ideas of what it could be. Now, to me, he says the sunroof disappears. I think it's grainy enough that there could be, some sort of deniability, whether you just can't see it. It doesn't look like the sunroof is there. However, I still see some minor change in color here. Could be way wrong, whether it's there or not. But what I'm going to say is that it is, just whether it be that it's open now. So my thought is it's open. So if it's tinted black, it's not going to be as noticeable. And my thought is that someone actually throws a drone out and they launch a drone. Now, that sounds crazy, but I want you guys to watch this. Now, this is a more high-tech one. Now, this is a high-tech one where, you know, they can launch drones from their car, but that's not what I think happened here. I think they did it by hand, and I'll show you a video of that. So I think that what you see pop up is the hand. And then I believe when you see the black thing, it's really the drone leaving.
The make and model is a also little thing right here. This black thing, it didn't disappear. And
so I think it's a hand that pops up. Now I want to show you guys this because I want you guys to see how easy and also how high tech these mini drones are. So this video is from Chad B on YouTube. I want to make sure that I'm giving everybody credit. I don't know this dude, but I just want to give him credit for me using this. I pulled it off YouTube. So here it is.
Before we get started, we are about 5 miles outside of Newark Airport, and I do have to get authorization to fly. Pretty much half of the area where I'm going to fly is in a controlled airspace, is in Class B airspace, so I will be limited to 200 feet. So let me go ahead and get the authorization, and then we'll get started. So before we get started, I'm going to do my safety checks. So I'm going to go here to the checklist here, and I have my return home height set to 150, which is good around here. My max altitude, actually I'm going to bring down to maybe 195, around there, around 193. And my max distance, I'm going to have that, of course, to no limit. I'm also going to go into the safety menu and make sure my return to home is set to, or my loss of signal is set to return to home. So I will be recording this in 4K 24 frames per second. ISO is set to 100 and my shutter speed is 1/50th of a second. And right now I'm perfectly exposed. So all we need to do now is go ahead and launch.
And here's another video that shows it from the outside.
Hey.
And he's doing it from the inside of his car. Guys. So now he's doing it. You see it right here. Takes off. So people can say, you know, maybe it's not a drone or it's hard to launch it, but it really isn't. If you have these mini drones, like the reason why I showed you guys this dude's video is look at all the settings that he does. It's going to be return to home altitude. It's going to be max altitude. How far can it fly? You just got to get it up in the air. And I think the way that he launches it with his hand out could be the flash that JM3 saw. And it could be real quick. You could be holding it down here while the propellers start and then just put it up. That's all you'd have to do. So if it's driving, it's not being affected by the wind or anything, and then you just got to put it up and it would take off. Almost guide it up. So
yeah, and it looked like it was on the passenger side, so that's possible.
Yep. And also too, you can have jammers on drones. You can have they have Stingray drones.
And so, which brings me back to some really interesting details that the...
So, hang on. Sorry, Phoenix. I have to clarify this. Yeah. Because so many people are asking, why is someone throwing a drone out of the car? If it's the police or if their FBI is already there or if there's already surveillance of the area going on.
Correct.
And this is not Koberger launching the drone.
No.
Sorry. Go ahead.
But the FBI, there was a report that said that they were operating drones in that area at 1122 King Road in Moscow, where the university students were unalived. The drone was used during a period when investigators were accessing the house and to gather other data. So there is something out there that they, you know, obviously were using drones. Were they using drones at this time?
Yep, they started a drone program.
Possible. And someone said, Brent Kopaka is a drone expert, by the way. But didn't I say that last night, that some of those pictures that were being used look like they're taken from the sky?
Our drone program was implemented as a way, this is the Moscow PD, as a way for officers to search large areas more efficiently. This is critical. The department has 3 FAA certified drone pilots who train regularly.
And wasn't that part of the criteria for the behavioral assessment that they said that they did launch unmanned aircraft systems in our AI chat?
I thought they said
Surveillance?
geofencing or surveillance. Oh, for the
Surveillance.
for the hex thing, yes.
Yeah, for surveillance.
Yeah, but I also am not going off of that because I'd heard about a drone prior to even doing that.
Oh, wow.
Well, and I think
Wow.
other people have said originally Kopaka, there was talk of a drone. There was talk of, I believe, Brett Payne is the drone expert. Sorry, that's what I meant. Payne. Did I say Kopaka?
Yeah, Brett Payne.
Sorry, that's what I meant.
He knows how to fly a drone.
Yeah.
He's certified drone operator. I just saw that.
So that's my best guess, Jay and Bree. I wore my tinfoil hat. I don't take that lightly. I wear it with pride. But yeah, I just think it could have been maybe the sunroof is open, so that's why if there was a tint on the sunroof, it might have looked more visible. And if it's open, because again, to me, this actually, I don't know,
Yeah,
it kind of looks like a hand and someone's holding something.
It
kinda
looks like a hand.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a hand is holding it.
Interesting.
So, and I think
And
the
then-
black flash is the drone. What
And
it
by
looks
the
like
way-
opens is really the drone.
Koberger's vehicle did not have a sunroof. So who is this?
Well, I believe this is the green Elantra. Am I wrong? Because here's the pumpkins. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one has it. We thought it did. But he's saying it doesn't look like it now, so he's got to go back and look. I think it's just because that Elantra's got dark tint. That sunroof would be tinted too dark. And if it's not closed, the black on the top of the roof isn't going to be as prominent. Would be my guess. So let's see if we can colorize this. I'm going to have to take a screen grab of it. But I thought that was interesting. Like, again, whether people, it's clearly some. I mean, it could be something. We don't know. And again, whether or not if people are in the chat, like, what are they talking about? I can't believe they think there's a drone coming out of a car. Well, I would like to say, I can't. Yeah, I was just going to say, I would say in response to that, I would say, I can't believe that this person doesn't think it's possible that the police might throw a drone out of their car.
It's possible. Anything's possible. It could be a distortion of the picture, right? It could be night vision. It could be almost anything.
Look, here's what I'm going to say. People say it doesn't, like, so
Who wrote this group?
Yeah, Gwender Woman just says it doesn't scream sunroof. Well, did the Elantra scream green to many people? Because it didn't to me. So, I don't know.
It could be something, or it
Kinda
could
looks
be
green
nothing. Yeah, it does when you look back.
I swear, man, that to me.
It looks green.
Or does it even look like someone's holding it out the side window? Does it kind of look like somebody's holding it out the side window?
Oh, possible.
If there's not a sunroof, okay. So if there's not a sunroof, does that look like, is that a hand out of the window? And that's what we're seeing.
It looks like a handheld camera. Somebody's holding a hand. That's a hand.
Yeah, I think it is a hand.
That's a hand in holding something, a box?
Well, I think they're holding a drone. That's what I would say.
Holding something, yeah.
Because see, like, what would open up like that? Like, that to me looks like blades spinning. Like the 4 blades. And it caught that, and then it goes.
Wow, maybe you can clean that up.
Yeah,
AI?
I can try. Oh, I love that AI.
It's
we got Jesus.
Jesus. It could be a hand. It could be a drone. It could be a hand releasing a drone. For all we know. I mean, I don't think Kaylee was being paraded as a trophy. This timeline of this Elantra is the timeline that spent what? How many? 14 minutes looking for a parking spot
Yeah.
per, per the prosecution.
Yep.
You know what I find really odd in this document case? I just find it really odd that the prosecution has not filed a motion in almost 2 years. And it's up to them to prosecute a case. They have the responsibility in the court of law to prosecute their case. But yet everything that we've seen, if you go through the document list, it's all the defense. It's all the defense filing motions. It's all defense. What in the world is going on? They have the prosecutorial responsibility to prosecute the case.
Yes.
And they aren't.
Yeah.
They just aren't.
Sorry, I got it. Mrs. Birdie texted me.
A posse box is like a metal box that it's a metal clipboard that you put paperwork in. So if someone left something on the car, then yeah, it could possibly be a posse box. But at the speed it was going and whipping around everywhere, it probably would have fell off. Yeah, I'm thinking they maybe really they don't want to prosecute him. They've just been buying time for years for the bigger operations to take place.
Oh, okay.
And
I don't want to show that.
It's a sunroof, and we know
No.
his car didn't have a sunroof.
Well, no, it's the guy's holding a pew pew out the window.
Holy shit. That was another option. I told you it looked like a hand holding a camera. That's interesting. Yeah, don't show that.
I'm gonna move this window to it. I'm gonna move the.
So
tape.
is it possible bring that car back up?
What?
And you didn't give it any prompt.
No. I just said clear it and tell me if there's something. I mean, it picked up. It's a Hyundai Elantra. Okay. Well, now tell me this, chat. Does anybody see a pew pew? I'll go back to this video.
That's wild.
How do you see what I'm about to show you after I
Because
play?
right here, even. Doesn't it look like somebody's arm is out here?
Yeah, it looks like a little mini, I don't know if I could say the word,
No,
but...
well, in general, this is an anomaly, right? Like, I don't think that's the pixels of just the pixels morphing.
No,
I
they
think
blurred it out because they don't want you to see who it is.
it might be blurred.
And they bloomed the front license plate so you can't see that it had a license plate or not. They bloomed it so bad and put a blur on it. That's not the car light.
I want to know, why did his video get so grainy? Is it because he zoomed in on it?
Maybe, but it's edited, highly edited.
I'm just doing it slow. See, it's a little clearer here. It looks like something totally above.
It looks like a semi-A.
Yeah, so he's already got it. Well, see, like to me though, I think you would pick that up, even zoomed out, if someone's holding an semi, right? Because you could, I would guess that is that footage that far away, Phoenix. I mean, because you could even see the tip of the pumpkin here.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a
if you
huge.
zoom in,
I don't know, but it right. So like, I'm not talking about the mirror.
oh shoot! Somebody said it looks like what was in the back of Officer Rosenthal's car. And remember, they did have the flashbangs. Holy crap!
Yeah, but are they? But why would they be firing that right here?
At 3:23, there were
Remember this-
flashbangs. What's the time on that stamp?
There's no timestamp on this.
We need to find a time on that stamp. We need to find a time.
Yeah,
It's blurred on purpose. But at 3:23, it says, I have flashbangs. I swear that's what they are. Remember the glow in the back?
I remember that video were the 3 flashes, and then you actually heard like walkie talkies, like
Right.
or like the beeps, arming beeps. I think you called it right.
I have it at 3:23, 40 seconds. 2 flashbangs. Yep, I bet you that's what it is.
But why would they be like? So you're saying they're going up to do it?
Yeah, outside. It was said that there was a fight outside.
I'm curious what.
EMP. I thought it was a what do they call them? A RDAR box, but I don't think it was.
Just to me, I just really want to see if I can get. Well, this never works ever, so I don't even know why I'm gonna try it. But maybe we'll get lucky here, and it'll work. Where do we go? See, like to me, I don't think that this ever really. I'll upscale it 2x. Let's just double it.
I'm gonna find what time they have on this video. Remember, I said that the judge was very upset that Dateline got a hold of this video, and that's why he wanted to know where the leak was.
Yeah,
this was why he was pissed.
Yeah, I saw a creator who had talked to Steve, whose alleged texts or messages got leaked, and this video was on that a while ago. It's actually not the worst that I've ever seen. I'm going to ask what it would be hang on. I'm going to ask what it would be if it wasn't a pew pew. How, like, I gotta say, whether it's nothing or whether it's something.
Holy moly. I am looking at the Linda Lane, the 3:23 video. Did someone else send it to you yet?
I gotta check. Hang on, show me an image. What did you see?
Hold on a minute. I'm seeing when that flashbang happened. Someone saying a pew at 3:23.
Does anybody have the video to email me? BirdieBombShell 00
I'm looking right now
at Gmail. Okay. I have AI making an image of it to show what it could be if it's not that. I gotta pee so bad. I'll be right back. Sorry.
Okay. I am looking at the 1330 Linda Lane footage that shows the it was 4 black. Okay, it was 4. So I see 1, 2. I see 2. 2 each. I see 2 each. So there's 2 consecutive flash and then flash. So it's flash, sound. Well, I think it's what is it? Light is faster than sound. Which one is it? Guys, help me out. Yeah, sound is faster than light. Okay, so let me take a drink of my water. Light, then sound. Okay, got it. No freaking way, y'all. $326. $326 is the second.
Okay.
323 and then 326. You can see from the white, the light.
Did somebody email?
Oh my God. What if they launched it right out of the car? That would make sense.
And they were just getting ready to go do it?
They were getting ready. Yep.
Yeah. They didn't fire it there.
No, they didn't.
But if they were getting ready, because did somebody send me it? Did you, Phoenix?
The footage is 1 minute and 42 seconds behind, so it might be the exact same time.
I'm saying, Phoenix, did you email me that video?
No, I'm gonna send it to you right now. I gotta get off.
Okay, sounds good. Chat, where are we at on this? Yeah, why don't we watch the original while Phoenix is doing that? Let me get the filter off. So what my mind is seeing, even just right here, I actually think it's easier to see when it's not as zoomed in. It kind of looks like someone's almost like leaning out. Like if the window's here, they're kind of leaning out, is what I see. This is too high up to be a mirror. So it almost looks like someone's like leaning out a little bit. Or if it's not someone leaning out, I see like an arm. I could see like an arm. But again, this just seems, it almost seems like actually, if I can draw on this, and let me use a different color. If I could draw on this here, I kind of see almost like a head, a shoulder, an elbow, the hands coming up like this. That's kind of what I see. But then at the same time, there is something going on up here. I don't know what that would be from a like an anatomical standpoint. Because if he was reaching to the top, we would see the arm coming out like this, but we don't. Or at the same time, now, if it's not that, let's call this like the mirror area. Oops, sorry, shit, that was bad. Let's call this like the mirror. It also, at the same time, kind of looks like an arm up here. I don't know. Oh, okay, some River. You just said it's like a police siren. Like remember like the old school movies where they reach out and they put the police siren on top? That's almost kind of like what it looks like.
Or a light
Yeah, but we would I don't know.
to light it up.
Yeah. So Phoenix, thank you for sending me that. We the chat has requested to kind of watch this original one again. And I
Okay,
think
sounds
it'd be
good.
a good idea.
Remember this picture, this was the first one that was submitted in the defense's original motion in limine for excluding the make and model of suspect vehicle. And we were like, goodness, surely they've got a better picture than this. But when we zoomed in on it, like I've got it zoomed in here 500%, you could see what really clearly looked to be the outline of a sunroof right here. And then here's the little fin, but you know, this black thing here and this little shadow looked like it clearly had a sunroof. We all saw it and we were like, that's a sunroof. Well, then when we got the video of the vehicle moving, that sunroof clearly disappeared. But let me tell you, this little thing right here, this black thing, it didn't disappear. And wait till you see what I'm about to show you after I played with the new video. It's going in super slow motion. Right here, you see this black thing we saw in that picture. Whoa, look at there. It just popped up. And then the next frame, it just kindly disappears because of the light reflection. But watch again. It's down. It pops up. What in the heck is that? One more time. It's down. It pops up. I don't know, y'all. Now I've got to follow that same process with the videos of the vehicles at other times to see if it's consistent or if it was just on that vehicle. But if that's not enough to get the conspiracy minds going, I don't know what is, because as I watched that with my own eyes, I went, what in the heck? Currently trying to figure out what that thing is. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Post.
All right, Phoenix. So what do you got here?
So I sent you the video, 3:23 and 13 seconds.
All right, I'm pulling it up now.
Now I am going to go find the actual Dateline video and see what time they had this car driving around.
Okay, it was what time?
3:23:13.
3:23:13. Chat, please help me remember that. 3:23:13. 3:23:13. 3:23:13. I'm assuming she means 3:23:13 in the video. Or does she mean timestamp?
Correct. It's the timestamp in the video.
The timestamp in the video.
In the video.
So
And you'll be looking up to the left side of the top video.
all right, it's coming up. Oh, fuck. Sorry for my language. Damn it. Come on, click. All right, so 3:23:13. All right, this is 3:22:40. $3:23:05.
All right. Did you see him?
Yeah, that's
Did you
okay.
hear it?
Yes, but I thought I heard just a car unlocking and the flash and the headlights turn on. Like I had that's I again I hear that. That sounded different than the first time. That's a car, and then you hear someone like it's almost like they walked out their door, they did their car, and then you hear the door slam behind them, and then you hear their foot walking.
Okay. So then what was the other? Wasn't there another time where they thought they heard something shoot off?
Yeah. Well, that is I don't know if because I could see why you would have thought that this was the same one. That sounded different. And I think Mike Wimmer's in here. Mike, you don't gotta
Yeah, if
come up,
he's
or you could come up if you wanted to. I'm saying if you just remember if this is the same video or not, that would be a big help even. But I'll just let's just go back. It sounds like a BMW.
so was it later in the video at what time?
I don't know because it kind of looks like, but it also at the same time that does sound like what we watched before. I just feel like I'm hearing it way differently. Here.
Someone said 3:50.
3:50 a.m. Okay.
Woohoo! Chat is amazing, on fire tonight.
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, the flashes and the beeps, but like before it sounded like a Motorola. If I remember, if that's when we were talking. So 3:50.
So 3:50.
3:47.
Right after
Oh shit! I passed it.
past it. They're saying it comes around 3:47.
At 3:46:30. Hey Tamlin, don't say that word in the chat. Don't get us shut down, please. Thank you.
Everyone tap. Everyone tap. We love TikTok Shop. I buy some cool stuff off of TikTok Shop.
You're good, Tamlin. Not trying to be the language police. I just don't want this to get shut down. If it does, I'll come right back up. It's going to happen right against, you're going to see the flashes on this side of the house. I can't zoom in anymore without you guys getting a full picture. You can hear yelling. We got to remember to have Outcast break this down, Phoenix.
Yeah, that one too.
See a car coming up here. You saw the lights. Oh, never mind. You can hear it. Someone just walked by the lights for sure. Yep.
Yeah, it looks like they're hunched over walking on the left of the screen. God, when was that?
People are saying 356. I'll go to 356 and just try it.
Okay, 353.59. Several pew rounds.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause this until we can figure out when if somebody wants to watch it and let us know. So what's up, War? How you doing, brother?
Got a question.
Yep.
Not to talk publicly, it's just a yes or no.
Okay.
But have you received any threatening messages in your inbox?
Not that I'm aware of. Should
Take
I
a look.
Should I?
I got one.
Uh-oh.
So I'm going to more than likely legit be stepping away. I'm going to go and verify stuff, but
Holy shit,
I got
dude.
some. Yeah. So I am one who hides my identity and crap like that. I'm not looking forward to someone trying to dox me.
Oh, man. Oh, no. And so clearly it's something that got your attention. It's not just...
Yeah. Yeah, it's got my attention.
Well, oh, man. Well, if that's what you're going to step away from, I don't want to pressure you to do any more.
I'll tell you this, man. You and me, you ever have questions, I'll personally look behind the scenes for you anytime, any day.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. If there's anything I can ever help you with, I don't know if I have the capabilities as far as doing that type of stuff, but just in general, don't hesitate to reach out. I'll send you a message tomorrow when I get done with this stream and get it uploaded.
Yeah, it's just it's what was said. It's not like just someone being random, being like what have we seen before, like, oh, there'll be 5 if you keep talking about this. It's not that nonsense. It's actually up on par with doxing. And even though I know FBI agents, and I can easily write them and say, hey, look, someone's doxing me, and doing things, regardless that I can perform a lawsuit and have a winning, it's that I'm not going to want to have my information out there for X amount of times, because I could care less how much money I make out of it.
Right. Well, that is the more important thing, is that, yeah, it's the info. And I just got to say, it's so
Dude,
odd to me.
Last night was weird as shit. Like, and I'm not someone who curses, but last night was weird.
In that live?
Yeah.
What happened,
Like,
if you don't mind
but,
sharing?
I mean, flat out, Aaron flat out said that he works with Steve.
Aaron T?
Oh crap!
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yeah, and then I wake up to today, because I didn't go to sleep till almost 10 o'clock. I wake up and I have a threatening message that is borderline blackmailing. So,
Wow, I'm gonna check mine. Actually,
so
I'm not gonna
mine came from when I checked. So when you check your messages, you have like people that you're friends with that can write you, and then you have this backup that's, like people that aren't friends with you, so to say. Like, there's another one, and that's where I went to.
Okay,
And
like
I'm not
request
saying,
one.
for all means, I'm not saying this is Aaron. I'm not saying this is Steve. Could be literally a nobody. But last night was fishy, and today I wake up to that, and I'm like, what the hell is this crap?
Can you, because I know you had just said you had sent me a message.
Yeah, I will.
Just saying that it was weird, but like, can you maybe give, if you want to, just a little context? What was fishy? Just more trolls, people being like,
It's
it's
just the fact that someone claiming to work with Steve and the type of argumentative behavior that was going on.
And that was happening in the live.
Yeah, and Purple's
So
live.
criminal mind said he got a weird message.
So, okay, so I'm going to ask this. Anybody else that was in that live last night in Purple's live, press 1 if it seemed fishy the second that Aaron joined.
Why would he be working with any of these families?
And does he ever join those lives usually?
And I have no idea if the guy is being truthful or not, but I so it's like one thing I can talk about Antarctica, conspiracies and things like that. But the second that someone ever tries to like sit here and do like defamation and crap like that in true crime cases, like, it holds more weight than, if the government ever tried coming after me and being like, well, you said there was a military base down in Antarctica. Like, that one just doesn't hold much weight. It's like, good luck. You'll see me in court just like Rockefeller,
Yeah.
But the true crime stuff, like getting those type of lawyers involved. Like, here's another thing that was weird, man. So Purple's live, when it went down weird. So, like sometimes that your live will freeze up. Well, it froze on every single person and started kicking them out.
It silenced everyone on the panel all at the same time.
Oh wow!
What?
Yeah, and
Every
we're not
single one
talking
of
about
us.
like it. We're not talking about it took several minutes. It was within probably about 10 seconds. You started having user by user by user sitting there being locked up to where they were silenced.
And it wasn't too long after Aaron got off the live that
Correct.
started happening either.
Yep. So the fact that I'm getting a threatening message, dude, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And look, I've personally seen people are like, you know, this guy thinks Brian Laundrie's live. This guy is blah blah blah. This guy's this. I don't give a shit about that. Sometimes I laugh at it in a fun way. It's like, okay,
right,
well,
right, yeah.
What you're saying, yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked at that request thing, so
I don't even know how to get to that thing that Deadpool's talking about to even look.
I'll send you a message
All right, thanks.
Of how to get to it.
Dude, I'll
just so that I can look and see if I have anything.
Dude, I'll just say it. I think London and Aaron, I think they're both working for Steve. I think that there's agencies that they hired. I think that just like the private investigator, like if it's getting to the point where dude's joining a live, and I'm not saying it was him, but it's like if it's getting weird,
I know you're not.
Yeah, you're not an idiot. You got good self-awareness with this. You've been doing this a long time. You have a giant footprint on this app. And like you said, you talk about a lot of crazy shit, but this certain shit, it's just wow, man. Well, that's crazy. And honestly, if that is true, that's happening, I mean, look, chat, I'm not going to be, trying to be some hard ass either over a true crime case that, it's great to dig into and try to figure out, but I'm not going to do that. If there's some big time people that can fucking silence you like that, I don't want to.
Yeah. I thought it was really weird that he said he had a lawyer here in the United States, a DP lawyer that he was dealing with that handled Aaron Hernandez's case. And when I actually Googled it, Aaron Hernandez wasn't even facing a DP. And the lady and the name of the woman that he gave was not Aaron Hernandez's attorneys.
Yeah.
Wasn't any one of them.
So, we could be looking at somebody, because you get it, I got it, with people who come up and be like, oh, I was friends, with Kaylee and blah, 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 and they act like they're best friends. And then you get into it and it's like you get down the rabbit hole and you're like, yeah, this person could be full of crap because of the information they're telling wrongfully or just flat out lying. And so when Purple did that and Aaron was saying that, I sat there in the back of my mind and logically I was like, dude, if you can't even get that right with who you claim that you're friends with as a lawyer working this case and you don't even know like that was a death penalty, her name's not on there from what Purple was searching. Nope. It's like, is this guy full of crap? Still, at the end of the day, when someone writes me a threatening blackmail, like, nah, I'm not into this. I don't make enough money off of this to deal with crap like that.
Well, it's been weird in my live the last 2 days.
If they message you something personal, I get it. But, we're not defaming. We're not slandering. We are entertainment education. We are talking about factual information from a case. And I haven't got any threatening letters, emails, or a cease and desist. So if they feel like they need to reach out to me, drop it in my box. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel. They're not going to shut me up.
Well, like I said, that was the second night it had been weird because the night before I had 2 girls down in the comments talking about how they were roommates with the girls at Hi-Fi. Well, then all of a sudden I had this chick named Low Clan come up and she started talking about how she lives in Moscow and she was talking about how she had got a message from somebody from the church at like 5 a.m. about what had happened and told her not to send her kids to church that morning, not to let them walk that morning. And then literally she's talking about all this stuff and then Joe comes up.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Starts shutting her down. Like literally starts shutting her down. Like almost like he was telling her, stop, be quiet. You're not allowed to talk about this stuff.
Well, they tried to send Alpha our way, remember?
That guy, you can't convince me otherwise he wasn't some plant.
Yeah.
Well then Terrence got up on my live and said that he's got a friend that's in the church and they're not allowed to talk about that shit. Like, it's almost like signing an NDA when you join that church.
I want to know.
Church.
Here's the thing, too. What's interesting, if and this is not a pat on my own back or Phoenix's back or War, your back. I haven't heard Purple People Eater do it either. I haven't heard any of my guests do it. If you're in our live, we don't talk about other creators' content. Like I just said, London and Aaron's.
I do.
Right. Well,
I do because I talk about you.
Oh, okay. Well, that's.
I talk about what we find out on your live. We discuss it on mine after we leave you.
Well, and my point is that I'm never malicious towards people. I might make a funny little joke, and do the little, that's about as far as it gets, because I think it's like whatever. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. That's not me also being a cornball saying that. I truly believe that. This is the internet, for God's sakes. Everybody can access it and say their mind,
And they they can't control TikTok.
Well, don't forget, War, when Aaron came in, he brought in like 100 people with him.
Right.
And remember, they were so not liking Birdie last night. These 100 people were so like not.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell?
I write them and I
nah,
say,
man, Birdie's cool.
congratulations.
What you talking about?
like Birdie, your name wasn't even brought up, and people were like crying.
Yeah, we weren't even talking about you.
This is a new Xbox, achievement unlocked, of getting underneath the skin of, people that you never even had any interaction with.
Yeah. If I was on the live and it was happening, I would have been like.
Well, sister did say last night when she got up in my live, Sister Sledge said last night that the guy from the church started following you last night and ended up in the live last night. She saw him come across.
Yeah, I saw him come. Yeah, I sent Birdie a message. Yeah, I saw it. Hey, if they want to watch us, we don't block anyone. They act like an asshole and we'll block you in a heartbeat.
Yep. Yeah. I mean,
well, it makes me start to wonder, is the church trying to shut people down?
We've never even talked about the church. The chat talks about the church.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The chat does talk about the church a lot.
I could care less about the church.
I had never heard much about the church until that girl came up on my panel talking about how a guy from the church, she gave me his name and everything, that he had messaged her that morning at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
What's so funny too, like War. I saw you in this comments. There was this other guy that was like, I don't understand it. This guy thinks Brian Laundrie's still alive. Brian Koberger didn't do it by himself. At what point is true crime and conspiracy hurtful to like? And I'm like, okay, I always also acknowledge that.
Yeah,
this is speculation, but it's just kind of like, why? I don't understand it. Like, okay, so then, like you said, as far as like why would they feel the need to say that? Call it an achievement or whatever it is. But if you're trying to make me sound so crazy, why does it make you so mad?
Here's my reply to people like that as well. I sit there and I say, well, what's your views? And I'm not asking y'all to say what your views are, because I know that one of them, Casey Anthony, she loves doing lawsuits apparently. But let me just ask, y'all to not answer, but what's your view on the Casey Anthony trial? Did that happen to as planned? Did the O.J. Simpson trial happen to as planned?
O.J. did not. O.J. did not.
But like I'm sitting here going, here you have Brian Koberger, who has less evidence and type deal. I think that I should be allowed to sit here and be able to talk about the case and tell people my mind, but apparently it butt hurts people so bad that they want to do blackmailing.
Yeah. I mean, you got a worldwide news case. Hundreds of thousands of articles, tens of thousands of hours, if not hundreds of thousands of hours of coverage. How many impressions does that Idaho case get? How many impressions did Casey Anthony get? How many did OJ get? How many?
Right.
Why this case? I've never seen more of like a clicked up true crime community other than this case. Yet for the Karen Reed case, I don't care what people's opinions are. I'm not following it nearly as closely as I'm following this one. It's just like that one is okay to speculate on. The Brian Laundrie one is okay to speculate on. Every other case is okay to speculate on, but this one, and I would argue there is the most, you could say there's evidence, there's the most circumstantial evidence out of all of them, in my opinion, with this case.
Yes, I agree there.
But we're not getting paid to push the other narrative.
Right.
Well, I get paid through TikTok, but I don't get paid to push the narrative, but yeah.
And clearly not much. Like I said, I'm slaving away at 2 jobs that, and I do this lovingly. I love my wife, but so Mrs. Birdie could start her own business. So it's not, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's not
Yeah,
like,
and it's not from the 15 cents a night that
yeah.
we get paid
Yeah.
online.
Whatever. And I
Dude,
love it.
I
I love it. I don't do it for that. I do it because I love this.
Birdie, I used to make a good living off of this for about 3 years.
Wow.
I mean, I did not have a second job.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible. And
So
congrats.
right now, I mean, TikTok's just boom, it's gone downhill, and it's happened to every big time creator.
Yeah, there's an algorithm change, which is always one of the things too about TikTok that I'm like, why does the algorithm have to be like a hack? Like, here, if you want to go viral, if you want to do this, and I built a profile to 50,000 followers, I'm going to get you. Like, I don't get why it has to even be like that.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I almost think they're hired by TikTok to do that so that they get more engagement on their algorithm of liking, following, commenting, copying the link. They're checking every box, you know?
Yeah.
Nah, they're getting paid by the agencies.
Yeah,
Come
that's what
on,
I'm
let's
getting.
be real.
Yeah, see, I hate it when people try to tell me I make a whole lot of money off of this because I literally just started doing this just so I could talk to people about the case. Like, I don't have anyone else to talk to about it.
Dude, do you know
Like,
that like literally nobody watched my videos until I was like, dude, Brian Landry was never at his parents' house. He never went home. The body cam footage, that was like the first time people actually were like, oh, wait, that's actually a good take. So, you know, it's not like there's been this crazy thing, but man, War, I'm sorry that happened to you, brother. That effing
It's
sucks.
all cool. I mean, but yeah, if you ever have any questions, write me anytime. I'll personally talk to you, you know, one-on-one. I know that you'll never sit here and be like, this is where you got it from. You can just sit there and be like, so this idea popped in my head.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's gonna be pretty boring if you try to blackmail me.
so it won't be boring if I'm blackmailed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I hear you.
because
If you say-
I'm not a nobody off of the streets. I'm actually a somebody. So,
Yeah.
but
I
yeah, if you ever need something, hit me up. I appreciate it. I'll still continue doing my other conspiracy stuff on Antarctica or how the Earth is shaped and crap like that. So, or going into how the mind works. So,
I love it. And that stuff's all very important too. Like, again, you got to have an open mind. And I think we're lied to about everything on this planet, damn near. So,
yeah.
I'll believe
so
it.
does that
Appreciate
mean I
it,
can
brother.
still send you stuff to go down the rabbit hole with and just send it to you on Discord?
Yeah. Yeah. Which, by the way, I am in the
Well, I was
process of
talking
getting it.
to
Oh,
Daniel
Nice.
if I was still going to be able to send him stuff to send him down the rabbit hole on Discord.
oh,
Because
Well,
I send him down the rabbit hole quite often. I did last night when we were on live.
Yeah, I look forward to that, Bertie, with you having a Discord. I think it'll be really good for your community because you have obviously 1,000 people in here right now, and that I think your community. I think there's at times someone says something that's actually really good that gets not seen due to how many comments come through, and on Discord, someone could say something and a lot of people like it, and it grabs your attention of, oh my gosh, here's something else.
yeah. And speaking of that, just to give an update on that, I go back to, again, I'm starting the show now with this War and Purple People Eater, Hive Mind Finds. where
Nice.
you email me it, and I point out just unbelievable shit that people have found. Like, somebody figured out that they spelled Fight Club that doesn't exist with the H7 at the end, just like they
Correct.
spelled Ten Bundy with the H7.
It's a
at
chess.
Dateline.
It's a chess move.
Yes. And-
H7 is a chess move.
yes. And again, you talk about Steve saying the Queens on King Road, and you look at all, it's just, you go, right? But no, this is how awesome the Hive Mind is, that somebody is helping me get that all put together. I'm not sure if she's okay with me saying her name, but thank you to that person. And I know that there's an email in my inbox to continue getting that all set up. But after hearing that and seeing how, again, I don't know much about Discord, but I'm excited to learn. And yeah. So anyways, what I'm gonna do here is that was pretty much the end of the stuff that we dove into. What I'm gonna do, chat, is I'm gonna be on again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central. I'm gonna do some digging on the JM Bree stuff with what's coming on, going on with the window. The reason that I'm not doing a whole 3.5 hour live is that shit takes forever to download and upload. And I want to, just for the sake of that. However, I'm going to do some digging on that. If you guys have stuff, my email, birdiebombshell00@gmail.com. Please send me that until I get that Discord up and running. My YouTube, where all of these streams are uploaded the following day by noon Central, is Birdie Bomb Shells or Birdie. I had to get a new channel May 1st. So, anyways, that's where I've been posting it on YouTube.
Did you get the stuff I emailed you?
Yes, and so I literally, when I got off of work today, I spent 3.5 hours sitting here combing through stuff, looking at it, and because I don't want to just assume that I've seen it before or whatever. And so not only just that, guys, the people that have been sending the messages, I've said this the last few streams, that are like,
hey,
man, go ahead.
I'm going to get running, but I appreciate you, man.
All right, thanks, Ward. Good luck, brother. I will message
Have a
you.
blessed one.
Yep. Take care, brother.
Yep. Bye-bye.
To just finish that point quick, the people that have just been super kind with their words towards myself or Phoenix or any of the guests, like, thank you for that. That means a ton. So anyways, I'm going to get off my soapbox. Phoenix or Purple People Eater, are you about to go live right now?
Yeah, I usually do after you get done. Like I said, we like to talk about what you talk about. We carry it over into more discussion.
Love it. I love that. And if I'm able to, I'll hop into the chat. But like I said, I'm going to pop down. The Hive Mind, you guys rule. Phoenix, any closing thoughts?
No, I'm going to do some digging on that video and make sure we get the right timestamp.
Yes, please do. And then also,
I noticed you were playing that video of the car that we seen at like 350-ish on the Linda Lane footage. You see you hear the car pulling up.
Oh yeah.
I'm wondering if it's the suspect vehicle, because if you watch, there's a 16-minute gap.
Yeah.
It leaves out at 340 and it doesn't come back until 356. Did it come up in that other area?
The other thing that I think would be so helpful to do, like we said, like a case board. I also think I'm serious. Like, I feel like it would be helpful to, like, literally Google Earth map. Like, you know how only available, not available. He does it, but it's kind of like overlaid with photos. I think if we could somehow get like a zoom-inable maybe a 3D view. I don't know if you can do that. There's got to be some software out there where you can put notes at places and locations. And that would be fun to do live, and I think it'd be helpful.
Yeah,
well, yeah, because I mean, with everything that's come out, it would be great to put like where new stuff has been out.
I think on Purple on March 17th, there was a drop in the documents that showed the actual tracking of the suspect's car, and it goes to 3 different locations, and one of them is a drop-off at Linda Lane. So if you go to that document, they even have maps inside that document. We can definitely talk about that.
Isn't that what's in the PCA at the beginning?
It is in the PCA.
The very first.
Yeah. It is in the PCA,
the pictures are so damn grainy, you can't really tell where the dots are.
Well, it tells you exactly where they go to, so we can do our own maps.
Yeah.
But in the updated documents, it also gives some other locations that they went. So that's definitely something to talk about.
For sure. And again, chat, like I said, I think too, like, don't get me wrong, I love the long live streams. I think I'm going to save those for the weekends. And Phoenix and I have also talked. We're shooting for like 2 hours, like 7 Central to 9 Central. Let's pack it all in. The weeknights are going to be more formalized, and the weekends will be kind of, let's just see what the hell comes out of this live dig. So shout out to the mods. I want to know how many freaking profiles that Here's My Private Video person has. Jesus H. I think I blocked 9 of those. Anyways, I hope everybody has a great night and sleeps well. I appreciate you all. Phoenix, you rock. Purple People Eater, thanks for coming up, and good luck on your live. War, if you're still in here, brother, I will be reaching out to you.
Stay safe.
Yep, and stay safe. Cheers, everybody.
Stay safe, all of you. Be well.
Yep, peace.
All right,
Bye.
later.